Am I the a-hole for telling my mom I'm used to it after my parents ruined the surprise of my engagement and the wedding dress? I, 27F, am getting married in September 2025. I'm in a long-distance relationship. My partner lives in England and I'm in the US. We lucky enough that I work remote and visit about 3 times a year for 6 weeks at a time, and he visits me in the US about 4 times a year for once a week. When he was planning to propose, he had asked my parents' blessing in March 2024. My parents had assumed that I would know when he was proposing, and my dad had told me in a conversation that following week he was proposing in December 2024. As you could imagine, I was upset. My mother invalidated my feelings and said I was making it a big deal and being stupid for not assuming it was going to be during Christmas because that's when both of our families were together. My argument is that while I could have had a hunch, I didn't want to be told when it was, and basically could have gone practically a whole year wondering excitedly when it would be. For all I know, he could have proposed before that, and Christmas we would have had an engagement party. Anyway, basically my dad apologized, but my mom has stood firm on saying I'm dramatic for being upset. Since then, more things have gone wrong, and has started to leave me just so sad about wedding planning. None of this has been a good experience, and I've started to feel like it's a chore. Flash forward to today, my partner is visiting just for 1 week, and we're all sitting on the couch in the living room. My mom randomly turns to me and goes, "Have you picked up your veil from the bridal store yet?" Right in front of him. And then my partner smiles and goes, "Oh, you're wearing a veil?" And I just got super frustrated. There are only 2 surprises in a wedding, the engagement and the dress, and both of them have been handled so carelessly. So I turned to my mom and said, "Can you please not mention anything about the dress? Not the shoes, nothing. I don't want him knowing anything." She rolls her eyes, walks around, and about 10 minutes later gives a half-hearted apology just saying, "Sorry, OP." And I replied, "It's fine. I'm used to it at this point." And now she's gone back and locked herself in the room. So I guess, am I the a-hole for being upset? Edit. I know a lot of people are asking if this is like her. It isn't. She has already had one of her 4 daughters get married. I'm the second. She never ruined the engagement or the dress. And she seemed to care a whole lot more about her than she has me during this time. Second edit. Nowadays, a lot of brides opt to wear veils, tiaras, sometimes hats or embellishments, or nothing at all. I forgot to mention that my fiancé had told me he didn't want to know if I was wearing a veil or anything and wanted it all to be a surprise. Since he's very mild-tempered and sweet, he was surprised but was trying to be nice in his reaction because he knew I'd be upset. Commenter 1. Are you the scapegoat of the family? Because her bullshit smells of personality disorder. OOP. Her mom has borderline personality disorder and is a narcissist. My mom exhibits a lot of those qualities too. Commenter 2. If you're going to elope, then know that you have to do the prep work in advance. You can't visit the UK and just get married. OOP, yes I know. We've started looking into the requirements. Commenter 3. But why are you even sharing anything with them when it's so blatantly obvious that they don't care to keep these secrets? You need to accept that your parents are lousy parents to you. Do not share anything about the wedding with them anymore. They are not invited to the dress fittings, don't know what you'll buy or wear, and they most certainly won't be told any secrets. Does it suck? Oh yeah, obviously. But look at what happened. No matter how much you beg and plead, you'll always be the one overreacting and being the one off of line. If they ask why you're not telling them anything or trusting them with anything, you can tell them that they've repeatedly shown you that they do not care about making you happy. So you stop caring about involving them. They still have 2 other daughters to show they care. And from their track record, it looks like they might actually care more about them than about you. But be prepared to have your sisters get involved or share secrets with your parents. So no involving them either, or try to admonish you for hurting them. OOP. I've definitely decided to not include any family members because my sisters definitely would tell my mother anything I said. Update, April 27th, 2025, next day. So for context, a lot of things have gone wrong since we have been in talks of getting engaged. Obviously, my dad had told me about the engagement, but then other things went wrong like My partner's sister causing drama the day before our engagement. The day of our engagement going horribly wrong to the point my partner told me he'd propose again. Finding out last month that my partner's dad got remarried a year ago in secret. We didn't even know he was dating anyone. And him asking for a +1 for the wife no one had even heard of. While also telling my partner his ridiculous for being upset because it isn't a big deal. And my best friend bailing on my bachelorette for someone else's. So it's safe to say that since December, it's been stressful. And those are only the bigger issues I mentioned. I know everyone was saying my mom should be on an info diet. She already was by her own choice. She hasn't asked or been part of anything by her own design, and it's felt like she couldn't care less about the wedding. The only time she cared was when she found out we were only inviting 40 people, and people she wanted there weren't invited, like her friends, who I barely see or know, and her brother and cousin, who I both haven't seen since I was 11. That's when she insisted on paying for them so they could come. And that's the only time she's asked about anything having to do with the wedding, or to be honest, anything involving me. She hasn't checked in to see if me and my partner are okay, given all of the other stuff that has happened, either. So I ended up speaking with my mom a little while after what happened, and I told her that while I know I shouldn't have said I'm used to it, that ultimately I'm upset because it seems nothing has gone right. She seemed apologetic at first and said she didn't know why she said that and knew that she shouldn't have. I nodded and said just please don't say anything else regarding what you know about the dress. She was there when I got the dress and veil with my sisters. I then told her that I'm just tired of things going wrong and that my partner and I have felt super unsupported and alone. She responded back starting her sentence with, "OP, only a handful of things have happened. I feel like you're looking for things to be upset about at this point." And to be honest, when she said that, I kind of lost it. I basically said that I didn't go looking for any of this, and all of these things that have happened to my fiancé and I were out of our control. Like, you're the one who brought up the veil, not me. I didn't go looking for any of these issues. I definitely didn't go looking for my partner's dad, who has been single for 15 years, to not only lie about dating but secretly go get married and not tell his son for a year. I told her that if there was one problem, then fine, I'd have handled it and moved on. But that the repeated offenses have hurt me and I've been trying to get over what's occurred, but something else happens to make the wedding planning even harder. I told her that I felt super alone during a time that's supposed to be joyful, and that her carelessness and thoughtlessness has been super hurtful, especially when she's continually invalidated my feelings. She shrugged and said that she's done nothing and she's not going to talk to me or ask about me about the other problems going on because I've been upset and she doesn't want to deal with it. LOL. After a lot of your comments, I realized that I definitely was attempting to include someone who has shown not only should they not be, but they don't want to be. My partner leaves back to the UK today. But at this point I'm considering eloping with him, if I can, when I'm visiting him in England in May. We've already paid half of what we owe to our venue and photographer, so cancelling isn't really an option. But maybe we'll have just a reception instead of a ceremony. Thank you to the commenters who pointed out that if we ever have children, to keep the important moments to ourselves of gender or birth date or names. I think you're right, and my mom has pretty much ensured she will be on a permanent info diet for as long as she's in my life, because if not, she'll more than likely spoil it and then invalidate my feelings. I think, ultimately, it wasn't about the veil for me. I know my partner will still be surprised. I'm just sad because he told me he didn't want an idea of anything and wanted to be completely clueless about what I would be wearing. But ultimately, this was about the continued thoughtlessness and invalidation that's pretty much been the theme for the last 4 months. If my mom had said she was sorry and left it, it would have been fine. But acting like I went looking to be upset when she randomly ruins yet another detail is just wild to me. Edit. I also forgot to say, yes, I am moving to England. We are hoping to make that jump at the beginning of 2026. Second edit. I know a lot of people are saying completely cancel the venue, but we already have friends and family from my fiancé's side who have bought their flight tickets to come. At least 10 have already confirmed. I don't think I have the heart in me to cost people that kind of money when they've already invested into this. Third edit LOL. I'm not sure if my mom cares that I'm moving. I am in England for 6 to 8 weeks at a time every few months, so she's already used to me leaving for a significant amount of time. She doesn't seem sad I'm leaving, and if anything has said she understands why I'm moving. If she is sad, or that's the real reason behind all of this, I'd actually be super surprised. I won't rule it out, but my mom isn't the type to care about that sort of thing. Commenter 1. Have you looked into the visas? I moved to the UK 18 years ago. It can be stressful dealing with immigration and expensive. OOP, yes. I'm a little worried, but I think we'll be fine. Original plan was to get married, do long distance a little more, and then for me to apply for residency and move over there. Thankfully, he is over the financial threshold for me to move. Commenter 2. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out what the big deal is that your fiancé's father got married. How does that affect you? It doesn't. What's the big deal about knowing that you'll be wearing a veil? It's just a piece of fabric, and odds are most women wear veils. Sorry, but IMO, it does seem like you're making a big deal out of stuff you have no control over. You need to just ignore the stuff around you and enjoy your wedding. Although I will say your BF, she's an AH. How could she do that? I hope you uninvited her from the wedding. OOP. His dad didn't tell anyone he was married. He randomly told my fiancé last month because he wanted to ask for a +1, and when my fiancé asked why he needed a +1, he finally had to fess up he'd married someone and didn't tell anyone. My fiancé was rightfully hurt by that. He didn't even know his dad was dating anyone. If your dad, who you were close with, didn't even mention he remarried someone a year ago, I think you'd be shocked too. It also created tension because my fiancé's parents don't speak already, and they are both unpredictable people. His dad also said he would more than likely leave the wedding early and that he refused to meet with the mom beforehand to prevent any issues on the wedding day. Caused a lot of drama, and he uninvited his dad from the wedding because of it. The veil was frustrating because it was obviously another thing my parents revealed. My fiancé didn't want to know a single thing or hint over what I was wearing. And yes, LOL. Best friend has been uninvited. My fiancé does what he can to help with wedding planning all the way from England. He's definitely involved in this, and every time he visits we have ironed out as many details as we can. To clarify, I am not directly involved with his dad, but obviously I love my partner and support him, and it has been a source of stress. You may have missed my other comments, but the problem is my fiancé's family has a lot of tension. His mom and sister don't speak to his dad, and haven't for over 10 years. Already there were concerns about what their behavior would be like at the wedding because the three of them are all very unpredictable people. His sister had caused a bunch of drama the day before our engagement, for instance, and it's totally feasible that they would have drama on our wedding day. My fiancé didn't even know his dad had been dating anyone. When my fiancé went to go meet him for a coffee catch-up, his dad asked for a +1. My fiancé was confused because our wedding is small and we hadn't accounted for him wanting one. When he asked his dad why, his dad beat around the bush until finally admitting he'd married someone in secret a year ago, and literally no one knew. Not only that, but his dad in the same breath essentially said that he wasn't going to meet up with the mom and sister prior to the wedding, which my fiancé requested so the wedding wouldn't be the initial shock of seeing each other and could avoid problems, and that he'd also probably leave our wedding early. My fiancé was, understandably, shocked. His dad basically said my fiancé was ridiculous for being confused and upset and he should get over it. While it isn't my dad, my fiancé and I are each other's support systems, and it's been distressing information for him to find out. How would you feel if your dad had been married for a year and you didn't even know he was seeing anyone? Regardless, it does affect me, since it's our wedding. It's another person who has brought a stressful element into planning, and my fiancé had to make the difficult decision to disinvite him from the wedding to keep peace, since his dad and mom are unpredictable and his dad has already provided a hint and a half he will be difficult and only cares about his own interests. Comment update. My parents are not that old. They are both in their mid-50s, and both are mentally fine and healthy. They also have had another daughter get married previously to me, so this isn't their first rodeo. I didn't go looking to blame my mom for what my dad did. But my mom did make him think that I knew when the proposal was. When my fiancé asked for their blessing, that night they had been discussing. My dad made a comment that he thought I didn't know, and my mom said that of course I knew. So my dad thought it was fine to say to me. Not only that, she brought it upon herself from the get-go to say that I was ridiculous for being upset and it's not a big deal. I never blamed her for what happened. But I do think it's shitty to take it upon yourself to seek me out to tell me I'm ridiculous for privately being sad. So not only did she not apologize for her assumptions, but went out of her way to tell me I'm ridiculous. I think there's a lot of assumptions here in your reply. I think my dad was good-natured and really felt awful. My mom was indignant that my feelings had no place. I think, when you're the one who causes the confusion, and you go out of your way to invalidate someone's feelings, you become part of the problem. Ultimately, I'd be happier having a parent who made me feel valued and loved and like my feelings had a place and get to experience a lovely relationship like the one you're describing than my parent who makes me feel ignored, unheard, and ultimately just all around invisible. Just because someone is alive doesn't mean they are instantly better. I'm sorry and my condolences about your dad.